EGM Network.
Welcome to Classic Car Radio. I'm Keith McDonough. I'm here with Mike Carano, Steve Charbonneau, and Todd Byron. Welcome to our new studio. You can't even see.
We're looking at this thing. I'm way off to the side here.
Look at this. We're all really adapting here.
Yeah, they don't want me.
It's different.
They don't want me on the show anymore.
We need some Perrier and we need some flowers around here, I guess.
Well, Mike's in it. What is it? The witness program?
Yeah, I'm in WITSEC now. I'm off to the side.
He's only allowed to have half the face.
Well, like in George Jetson, they had the mother-in-law off in the back there, and when they in the Jetsons.
Yeah,
when they were driving into space.
There you
That's
are.
me. I'm
They
off
just
to the
showed more
corner.
of you just in that one.
That's
There
all
we
right.
go.
I don't care. We're good.
All right, so before we start, let's talk about the Riverside Theatre. We have to talk about the Loop, Live in the Loop, and that happens every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, starting in 1 month, March 1st, for the first Thursday of March. And it'll go, they say it goes year-round. It's the car show and outdoor stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it
They
goes
still
more
have
sure.
it?
Yeah, it's still going on. It's just they don't. I guess
do the car shows
in
and-
December they kind of put a hold on it.
Oh, okay, because it says in their press release, year-round beginning at 5:30. I guess they changed that to they got rid of January and February, right?
Yeah. If it's going to start in March, there was no
it
January.
starts in March again. So don't miss the jazz concerts and car showcasing. Now, usually the car showcases is the first Thursday of the month, so you don't want to
Miss that.
That's the first Thursday, and the AACA will bring the cars in, and if you want to bring your car, you can. You just got to park across the street and then try to park with the other classic cars that show up. That's all. Pretty
Right,
simple.
and no matter where you park, you could hear the music. So you could be out way out in the back, in the front parking lot.
Oh, really? That's cool.
You could hear the music.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the final results of Mecum are in, and we missed last week's show. So the press release said that the Mecum Kissimmee auction in Osceola Heritage Park had total sales of $224 million with a 74% sell-through. Top selling car was a 67 L88 coupe that sold for $2.25 million. 67 Corvette L88 coupe, of course. But that has been that's gone now. The GT40 MK1 road car sold for $7.04 million. So that was actually the highest. This was it may have sold after. I'm not sure.
If it went to the bid goes on,
Yeah. But Auto Revolution reported that the 66 Ford GT40 MK1 sold for $7.4 million. That would put it at the top spot and move the L88 down, the yellow one, down to second place. 69 Ford Mustang Boss 429 got 308. These aren't the highest cars either.
No.
62 Chevy convertible got 275,000. 2013 Ferrari Spider 458 got 264. 57 Corvette convertible got 281, and then a BMW Z8 Alpine Roadster 2003 got 209,000, and the Jaguar, the Austin Myers Jaguar, got $880,000 for the Jaguar. Imagine that.
My Lord,
it was all right.
Yeah,
but like you have here the Seinfeld car. I thought they were going to sell.
Right. Now, I wrote this at the top because I saw a lot of questions on X, Twitter used to be X. Many are questioning the $25 million GT40 that did not sell. $25 million for a GT40 that was raced by Paul Newman.
Ryan Redmond. That's a Porsche.
I'm sorry,
it was
Redmond.
A Porsche, yeah.
It was a Porsche, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And owned by Jerry Seinfeld.
It was a Porsche. And it had the Gulf color, what do they call it? The livery on it. It did not sell. So what they're questioning is saying, well, Mecum was they had no intention of selling. They had somebody bidding it up to 24, and then they say, nope, that Porsche did not sell at 25 million. They're saying that that they were just doing that to hype up the show.
Oh, is that?
To hype
Why'd
up
they do
the
that?
crowd,
Yeah.
hype up the TV ratings, all that stuff.
And they
That's what people
just
online
put
are
that
saying.
in. They just put that in just for show.
Yeah, they put it in
I'd have
for
been
show,
pissed off.
Yeah.
and then they said, let them bid it up, and it went to 25 million. And they're saying that maybe some of those bidders are on the internet just bidding, and they really weren't going to buy the car because it was never going to sell anyway. So it was kind of a big sham. This is what people are saying. This is not what we believe. This is not what Mecum is saying. This is not what Jerry Seinfeld is saying.
Right.
But they're just people are saying, yeah, this is a big sham. I just wanted to point that out, that people don't trust that a car of that caliber didn't sell for 25 million.
So it didn't meet the reserve, right?
That's what they're
Supposedly,
saying.
yeah, it didn't meet
they're
the
saying it
reserve.
didn't meet the reserve.
Did they ever?
They never said the reserve.
No, it just got towed out of there back to Jerry Seinfeld's house, I guess. But that's why people are saying, this is not happening.
Brian Redmond was there.
Yeah, I know.
With it and that,
he was
so.
there. Yeah.
And he drove that car. That was
They
his
showed
car.
him.
Yeah.
They showed Brian Redmond on TV.
Yeah, good guy.
Very nice guy. Yeah. Vero Beach guy, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've gone to auctions before between Carlisle, Mecum, Barrett Jackson's, and you do when you're sitting in the back, you do notice that there are phantom bidders. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Because they'll just say 25, 26, 20, and I don't see anybody raising their hand.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Those phantom bidders are probably the auction buying it, bidding on it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was sitting right next to a guy. It was his own car, and he had the guy next to him bidding it up. And then
Really?
finally, the guy from Mecum came over to him and said, "Hey, listen, we don't do that here."
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
it does happen.
They
So
should have sat together then. They should have
It just
separated by 10 seats or
it
something.
does happen. There are phantom bidders. They
Sure.
have, because you could see what's going on. They don't, especially when the car goes down to they want $2,000 all of a sudden. You start at 50, it goes down to 2, and then when it hits 2, it goes right up to 30
Right,
in
right.
2 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I could see why people complain.
Yeah, well, the internet bidders too. You
Right.
know what I mean? They might push it up for the owner. They're a friend of the owner, and they're like, "Yeah, I'll go on the web and I'll bid it up here and there, but I'm not going to go too high because I don't want to end up owning the car." But it's kind of like shooting the moon, like playing the stock market.
Yeah.
When to get out. You got to get out, or you're going to get.
Yeah, and then
It's
you
going
always
to
have
cost you a lot of money.
the other way it can go too is like when they do the no reserves and the car doesn't pull nothing. I mean,
Right.
the one year that we were there, the guy was flipping out.
Yeah.
That car went for like 13 grand, and the guy was losing his mind. He's like, "I got over 60 grand in that car," and it's like, no reserve is no reserve, and the
Right.
guy's arguing. He's like, "I'm not selling the car for that."
And I know sometimes with Barrett Jackson, if a car really undersells, I think Barrett Jackson kind of makes up for it a little bit to the seller.
Yeah.
I've seen that before.
Well, no, I've seen Frank Mecum do that too.
Yeah, he's lowered his percentage
He'll
rate.
lower the percentage that they take. Yeah.
I'm talking that Barrett Jackson will add to it to get
Yeah.
the guy up to what he wants.
Right.
And then,
Right.
But then I didn't know that if you're being a bidder there, it's 8% or 10% now.
Yeah, it's 8 or 10.
8 or 10.
Right.
If you bid online, it's either 12 or 15% goes back to them. So you got to be careful,
Right.
Yeah.
which people find out later on after they buy a car that, 12%, it's not 8% or 10%.
Yeah, and then don't forget they also have the people too. Like, so if you're buying a car online, you can pay people to go and inspire and do it there for you.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, a couple different ways. You know how it all works.
All
But
right.
it was a good time.
Yeah.
We had fun at Mecum.
Yeah, I had fun.
I've already had 2 Mecum cars in my shop.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
Yeah, the 70 Corvette that came from Tornado, the car collection of the vets.
Okay.
One of my customers bought the 70 Vet, the 454 10,000 mile car,
Right.
convertible, red, black. Yep. That was in. We did some brakes and got it running.
Yeah, just, it was, and they changed all the Mecum around, too. A lot of the stuff was changed around this year.
I noticed that. Yeah. And there were, how they have the high end glass tents, the glass siding,
Right.
and they're not really, they actually have roofs on. They had, 4 of those?
Yeah, they had 4 or 5 of the
glass ones.
buildings
Yeah.
because there was so many.
So many great high end
Collections.
cars. Yeah. And then, by the time I got done with the 4, I just did a couple of tents, and I'm like, okay, my knees have had it. I'm done. But yeah, it was great. A lot of great cars. Let's talk about this one. It's next on the line. We're not going to do the Mecum Challenge results that we did 2 weeks ago. Oh, by the way, did anyone watch Barrett Jackson over the weekend? Barrett Jackson was on History Channel.
Yeah, I saw some
all
of
day
them.
Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I watched a lot of that.
Yeah, I watched the vet go through the number one.
Oh, yeah, the
006.
006, number one.
That Rick Hendrick bought for 3.7.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I watched a couple others go by. I watched some trucks go in and some other stuff. And I watched that K5 Blazer go stupid money.
Yeah.
It was clean, just a K5 Blazer stock interior with a LS7, and it went for, was it $250 or $450 or something?
And there was a lot of the Blazers went for big money.
K5s,
they do
man,
now,
they were
yeah.
hot.
Absolutely.
The Broncos not so much, but the K5s have gone way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get a little frustrated Saturday night because it was like Ferrari, Porsche, Ferrari.
Yeah, well, that's what happened.
You know what I mean?
On the last Saturday.
Yeah, they stuck all that. But I wanted to see some. They got to sprinkle the muscle cars in, spread them out a little bit. You know what I mean? Have a little variety for the night instead of sitting there going, oh, here comes another Ferrari. Oh, boy. And then they'll take 10 minutes to bid that off.
Yeah, like the
then
day,
they'll go to commercial.
The day I was there with Tom's cars, it's supposed to be a muscle car auction.
Right. Yeah.
He got a number that was like 230 or I forget what his number was. It was way up there. But all in front of him was a collection of no reserve cars, Ford Fairmonts, LTDs.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they couldn't move him down a little bit. You sell those crappy cars later in the day. You don't.
That's right.
Especially no reserve.
Actually, no, you're supposed to sell them early in the day.
Right, but
when no one's watching on TV,
Yeah, and it was just they did a lot of different things this year that a lot of the people that were selling cars really weren't happy about it.
Yeah.
But it happens.
Yeah. What do we got for time?
We're way
While we
over.
go on a break, let's take a break. Hey, when we come back, we're going to do our Mecum Challenge. So when we all picked out, I had 10 cars, and we all tried to guess what the selling price would be over the block. So we're going to come back with that after these messages. We'll be right back with Classic Car Radio.
America, and nobody outperforms the lawnmowers and power equipment at More Motors. Discover great products made in the U.S. Other lawnmower places may be struggling, but More Motors has an unfair share of inventory. An extra truckload of mowers just came in, so take advantage now. More Motors has more lawnmowers than you've got blades of grass. As a Cub Cadet dealer, More Motors has zero-turn riding mowers and walk-behind mowers galore. Their unfair share of inventory is going fast. More Motors, your Cub Cadet dealer. 5135 US 1 Vero Beach. Anything and everything it takes to make tall grass short. More Motors.
Right now at Sunshine Furniture, it's New Year sale time. Save up to 50% on selected closeout styles of Lloyd Landers, Berlin Garden, Capri, Universal Coastal Living, Four Seasons, and lots more. Sofas, dining sets, patio groups, chaises, umbrellas, occasional chairs, bedroom sets, coffee table, lots of pieces on sale now for inside and out. We're your local Tommy Bahama and Lexington store where you can create an island paradise and make your life one long weekend. Sophisticated looks with a mix of coastal and Caribbean style, Tommy Bahama Home has everything you need for your Florida living. Also, all pictures, lamps, and accessories are half price. Visit Sunshine Furniture now for a January sale. Sunshine Furniture, $12.95 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com. Also, don't forget to shop our outlet and sales center just across the street.
Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way.
Welcome back to Classic Car Radio. So we did the big Mecum Challenge 2 weeks ago. Actually, wasn't it 3? No, it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
And we picked out the two big nights, Friday and Saturday night, the last two nights of the Well, actually, the Sunday went off too, but we picked Friday and Saturday cars, which are the big money cars. And we all decided, we all tried to guess which cars, what they would go across the auction block at. And so we're going to start with that and see who won this. I need a tally paper here. Let me see what I got.
Oh, don't go crazy. Don't worry.
No, I want to see who wins this. So be quiet, you.
Yeah, we can't count that high, Mike. Come on.
All right, first.
We got 6 cars.
We had 10.
See, we can't
All
count
right,
that
so
high. We're good.
Lot number F90.1, which is a green car. It looks white on your paper, but it went for $803,000. And Steve went $750, Mike went $425, Todd went $475, I went $625. But Steve won it at $750 because it went for $803,000. Imagine
That's
that.
crazy. That's crazy. That much money.
All right, the next one we had was a 67 Shelby GT 500,
Don't
which
get
is
mad.
lot number 148. And the GT 500 67 fastback, it was a 428 cubic inch police interceptor car. It went for $319,000.
That's cheap.
Mike guessed 400, Steve 375, Todd 600, me 550. So once again, Steve got it right again. All right.
It's right, boys. Better watch those
All right.
Fords.
So the next one was an LS6, 1970 Chevelle LS6 one with a 154. Todd went way up at 300 because he's a Chevelle guy, you know. Mike went to 125.
LS6, man.
LS6, I know.
It must have been a piece of junk.
They don't
I went
sell.
for 425, and Steve went 350. It went for 154K. So
I
that
think I
was
got that
went to Mike.
Yeah, 125.
Yeah, Mike was the lowest.
Mikey.
The Chevelle.
Right. Okay, 1970 Ford Mustang Mach 1 fastback with a 5.0 Coyote with a 6-speed, and it's a rotisserie build. It only went for it's lot number S323. I don't know if you're putting these up or not.
He must have got one in
Oh,
Tom
yeah,
Gore
okay.
spots.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
tell you, it was terrible.
Anyway, that 70 Ford Mustang Mach 1 with a Coyote 5.0 went for 154, and
That's insane.
Todd went 500 again. I went 175. Mike went 325. Steve went 250. Those are all legitimate, really, for a Coyote, because you just did a nice Mustang, Todd.
Oh, yeah.
But I picked up that one. I was the lowest. So that was, for me, I got one. All right. Next page, we had this 1990 Camaro IROC Z 1LE with only 6 miles on it. So the reason I picked that one out was because it only had 6 miles and it was untouched, brought from the dealer right to a garage, wrapped up completely. Even the tires weren't even dried out, no dry rot on them or anything. They went for $104,500. That was lot number S298. I went 95 on it. Todd said 75. Mike said 85. I'm sorry, Mike said 55. Steve said 85. And I went 95. I was the closest, so I've got 2. I'm tied with Steve now. We'll go across to the next one. We had a bid goes on car at $480,000. It was a 70 Pontiac GTO Judge Ram Air 4 convertible, one of 24 produced with a 4-speed. It was Concourse Gold GTO AA, and that one went again 480. I guess 125. Mike went 110. Todd went 130. Steve went 150. So again, we got Steve again. Steve goes up 3-2 on me, and Mike's got 1. Next, we had a 1965 Buick Riviera Grand Sport, and that one went for $140,000. I went 70. Todd went 80. Steve went 55. Mike went 60. So Todd picks one up at 80,000.
Todd gets on the
gets
board
one.
finally.
Wow.
Todd gets
All
on the
right.
board. Next was another 1974, but this is a 429 fastback, a 429 V8, of course, a KK code, 4-speed, went for $352,000. Steve went 150. Todd went 170. Mike went 110, but it went for $352. I guessed 3. 235. I inverted my numbers basically a little bit. So I picked up that one. So now I'm at 2, tied with, no, I'm at 3, tied with Steve. So I guess the next page, the next two do.
Coming down to the wire.
We're coming down to the wire. I had a 69 Pontiac Trans Am Ram Air 3. That went for $148,500. Mike went 90. I went 120. Steve went 105. And I'm sorry, Todd went 105. No, Steve went 105. Wait a minute, I messed that up.
Todd went 120 or did Keith go 120?
I went 120.
There you go. So you won
So I won that one. So I go ahead of Steve by 1. And finally, we had a 69 Yenko Camaro. And we all guessed pretty high. Steve went 500. Todd went 625. Mike went 675. And then I went 475. But it was scratched by Mecum. So it must not have been an authentic Yenko Camaro.
That happens sometimes.
It happens sometimes. So we lost that out of our 10. So I guess I went 4, Steve went 3, Mike went 1, Todd went 1. So there's our Mecum challenge for the year. Good job, guys.
What do we get? We don't win anything anyway.
Yep.
Just leave.
So
All right.
I hit a couple of
Keith
car
gets the
shows.
bragging rights in that one.
Yeah.
I got 4, Steve got 3. That's good. We all had fun doing it.
Yeah, so I went to a couple of car shows over the weekend.
Right, yeah.
I went up to Barefoot Bay. They probably had about 130 cars or so.
Wow.
Had a nice turnout, a lot of cars.
Nice.
That was Sunday, right?
That was Sunday.
I was so involved in football. I was watching it.
Football.
You know, I was watching all the football preview stuff, which was
in the
ridiculous. I
afternoon.
shouldn't have even wasted my time. Should have gone to the show instead.
Yeah, it was
got my dog out.
It was
there.
pretty good. Barefoot Bay was
Kind
pretty
of
good.
cold though, right?
It wasn't
chilly?
that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was a little windy, but
Yeah.
it wasn't too bad out. And then after that, on the way home, I stopped at the Warrior Pawn Shop. And
Oh, yeah, yeah.
they had a customer appreciation day, and I think they had
Right.
about 40 cars there,
Okay.
which was pretty nice. You know, cars in Barefoot Bay. There was cars there that I haven't seen before,
Yeah, that's good.
which was pretty good. Guy, I talked to one guy. He came from Kissimmee,
Oh,
which
really?
I was surprised. He drove
Wow.
all the way down.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was some really nice cars there, and it turned out pretty good. I don't know if I don't know who won or anybody won.
Right. Yeah.
Because a lot of the guys that I know went to the pawn shop because the guy that used to own that has the pawn shop, his stepdad has a Ford pickup truck,
Okay.
and he passed away a couple of years back, so they kind of go there for him.
I see. Yeah.
So that's what a lot of guys went. I don't know. Did you see Billy DeArton at all this week? You know, because I didn't see anybody
he's
from
got
the
the flu.
AAs. Oh, I didn't see anybody from the ACA. I saw just Donnie and Angela at Barefoot
Oh,
Bay,
really?
and that was it.
A lot of
So-
Brevard probably
It was
came
mostly
down.
a lot of Brevard guys and,
Right.
and Indian, a couple of guys from Sebastian were there.
Yeah.
Well, they had
Yeah.
the River Ranch show too.
The River
Yeah.
Ranch show.
Oh, that went on too?
That was Saturday, and I spoke to Steve from Cool Cars out there, and he said it was 29 degrees when he got
Yeah.
out there.
Every
Oh,
year.
yeah.
Every year, River Ranch is
Yeah.
too cold for everybody.
Right.
And
then,
you're the one that told me that.
Yeah, it's
River
always
Ranch is
cold.
always cold. They have it too early in the year.
Right, and then they also had a car show at the fairgrounds that was going along with the seafood
Really?
festival,
Oh, okay.
the boat show, and then they had a car show / swap meet. I saw one picture of it. Looked like there was maybe 6 cars there.
Wow.
There was just way too much going on. So I don't know how many people turned up at the tennis center at Grand Harbor. That's why actually, if you talk to Billy, if any of those guys went up
Oh, I
there,
don't know.
I know Phil told me they had at least 15 to 20 cars that said they were going. So hopefully they had a good turnout up in Grand Harbor that day.
Right.
I was working on my car all weekend. I got to change the starter and flywheel.
Right.
Like I dropped the transmission, so I couldn't bring any cars out.
Yep.
And it looks like we're going on a break.
Yeah, we're going to go on a long break, and when we come back, we're going to do a little bit of news, and a little bit of news, and we'll be back after these messages.
Yep.